G'day, it's Fish, the Beach Bum Investor, here with your cryptocurrency discussion and report for the 6th of December 2017. Posting up in Discord, getting messages, Discord's beeping, everything's going on. Won't be a second. Just posting up and letting the Crypto Wave investment crew know that we are on for the chat. G'day, Floyd. Just interrupting whatever chat's going on over there, live now. Oh. Close that down so we don't get the beeping. It's been a really interesting 24 hours again in the crypto economy. Never a dull moment. This CryptoKitties thing's taken on a life of its own. It's quite incredible. Just about everybody YouTube has got it in his report. I've taken a look at it, had a little bit of a play around. Call it research. I perhaps could be the first person with handlebar mustache to ever purchase a digital cat. Who knows? Hey, BB Junkie. Joe, how's things, man? You sent these CryptoKitties, Joe? My goodness. Starting prices are ridiculous for some of these cats. Quite funny. Check my Discord? Will do, bro. I can't check it now in the middle of the show, though, Joe. I'll check it after. Or is it super important? Tell me if it's super important. I'll check it now. Let's have a look at the overall market. See how it's been a solid 24 hours. Been pumps on lots of things. Money coming from everywhere. See the economy hitting all-time highs. Crypto ants for now. Oh dear, build your own ants. It's going to be something else. Let's have a look. Oh, it's hit 12,000. Bitcoin pushes 12,000. Bitcoin surpasses 12,000. Let's say incredible. 359 billion, I beg your pardon, in the total economy. Who is annoying me? Okay. Funnily enough, that was a text message about a digital cat. Insanity. I thought I'd get a couple for my nieces for Christmas. They don't watch this, so I'm not blowing any secrets, but who knows. Anyway, Bitcoin's done really, really well. It's past the $12,000 mark, up 3% in the last 24 hours, capping off 16.85% in the last 7 days. Still up 0.5% in the last hour too, so trending nicely. That's excellent, Tilly. Well done. I'm selling a digital dog that's not actually digital. If anyone wants to buy it for 200 Ether, please contact me. Ethereum, it's actually taking retracements on the back of cats being the major value proposition of Ethereum. I am only joking. It's just hilarious. But look, it is good to see you, like an actual DApp coming out, and you know, in terms of mass adoption, in terms of getting out to the masses, this is one of the better marketing strategies I've seen. Hey, Spygo 2000. How are you, man? Anyway, Ethereum's down 2.07%, 459. I think long term that's really good buying. I think, I don't know if my Ether to Bitcoin ratio will be right, but I was been predicting 5 to 1 for a long time. So if it ever gets to that level and Bitcoin holds the 12,000 mark, Ethereum's going to be doing some massive growth to hit there. I could be completely wrong. Never hits even close to that ratio. G'day, Jia. How's your cat going, mate? Your digital cat? You must be stoked. They're all going up in value. You breeding them yet? Oh, I can't believe we're having this conversation. MSBD, how are you? Suspended withdrawals of IOTA and Binance. What do I think of it? I don't know. I'm a long-term holder, so it doesn't really bother me. I've been accumulating IOTA. Well, trying to accumulating IOTA. I started setting a couple of sells on it, and it just keeps going. I can't believe it. So far, I've bought 2 back that I've managed to sell. Like, I'm really selling off small amounts because it's on such a bullish run. But I've only managed to buy the dip once on this bull run. It's been crazy. Joe, I'm dead set serious. I don't even want to read that out because I think it's a brilliant idea. And if we had a Solidity developer, I think we could make a real thing out of it. So we need a Solidity. We should put the shout out, Joe. Can you open up like a channel in our Discord group and see if we've got anyone capable of developing on Solidity? I'll put some pay into it. I don't mind. It's been a good run up on the market. I'm happy to invest in something absolutely ridiculous that could, you know, we do it as a crypto wave investment crew group activity. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. Do I think it's strange? It does happen when wallets are undergoing maintenance. I know that much. I'm not sure what Binance's reasons are. So do I think it's strange? No, because it's happened so many times for so many different coins. When wallets go under maintenance, they tend to not be able to be withdrawn or deposited to that exchange. So do I think it's unusual? No, not really. I've experienced it before, and it's all come good eventually. Wallets do have to go under maintenance. We're upgrading technology. So do I think it's strange? I don't know. Bought 1,000 of them. That's a solid investment. I think you'll do well long term, depending on, I mean, even like I said yesterday, I think it can get to $10 a coin because that takes it up to Bitcoin Cash. And I think it's every bit as good as Bitcoin Cash. I think it's much better than MSBD. Do I trust Binance? Oh, shit. Put me in it there, man. I've never actually withdrawn off Binance. I've got to set up my thing, so I can't say that I've ever successfully withdrawn anything off of Binance. I've only ever deposited in. So until I make a successful withdrawal, I'll withhold my judgment on that. Do I agree with their mode of operation? Not necessarily. I don't like it might seem that I'm whinging about PIVX not getting listed to round 4 of the community vote. Maybe I am, but I still think it's a valid question to ask why the second and third coins, or even further down the list, weren't added for the next round of the community vote when they did accumulate thousands upon thousands of votes during the competition during round 3. So I don't know. They've shown their popularity once. Surely they should be given a second try. Do I trust them? I think I do, man. I haven't heard anything like major in terms of. I haven't heard anything in terms of scams or anyone not losing money that kind of wasn't their own fault for sending it to the wrong wallet or something like that. I really haven't heard anything bad in terms of scammy about Binance. I find the user interface pretty good. Do I trust them? Yeah, I do trust them if I'm being honest. I got to be honest with you. Yes, I do trust the exchange so far. Am I happy with their mode of operation? Not necessarily. A week not being able to move is normal. It can happen. I won't say it's normal MSBD, but it's not unusual. Can I say that? It does happen. I've experienced it plenty of times before. Yeah, Joe said he's withdrawn heaps of Binance. That's fine. So there you go. Yep, Johnny's backing up, saying it's fine with Binance. Several times for Pablo. How are you, Pablo? Yep, all good. Okay, I think we can get off that debate. So it's a as far as our crypto wave investment crew's experiences go, it is a reliable platform. No, you'll be right, MSBD. Many complaints at Reddit about IOTA and Binance. You trust them, yet hundreds of complaints. Mate, hundreds of complaints. Complaints and trust don't necessarily go hand in hand. Like, there's a lot of inexperienced people in this economy, and it's not the first time a wallet has ever gone under maintenance. It's a matter of fact, pretty much every crypto that is in the economy will have had their wallet under maintenance on exchanges at some stage. Now, this is not always completely the exchange's fault. This can be because of wallet maintenance going on with the coin itself. Sometimes the coin themselves have developed and done the upgrades and completed the technology upgrade, and the wallet and the exchanges drag their feet and take months to do it. So I can't comment as to what the case for this wallet maintenance or the inability to remove your IOTA coins from the Binance exchange at the moment. I can't comment as to the reason for that. It could be on IOTA's end. I don't know. I'd have to have a look into it. But I wasn't really panicking because I wasn't really moving them at this stage anyway. Just doing a bit of accumulating before I stick them in the bag wallet. Yeah, that's cool, MSB. Yeah, just stay in contact, MSBD. Just stay in contact, and we'll, we can try and help you out. But they do have support channels there as well. You can actually just click the support and ask for a support ticket. When I got to admit, like, if I'm going to bag them for things I don't like, I've got to be fair. The customer service was pretty good. As soon as I contacted them, they got back to me. So maybe chuck in a support ticket as well. Binance need to make an app for Ledger Nano or Trezor. It would be genius. Joe, that sounds like something you could handle. Sort it out. Oh, yeah, Mike. No worries, Mike. Sorry, I have trouble remembering every single person's first name. So, sorry, Mike. It's much easier to say Mike, so I will try and remember it. Mike. So now I won't forget it. I've said Mike like 3 times in the last 5 minutes. 5 times in the last 3 minutes. Whatever. Let's have a look at the rest of the market. You'll give it a crack? G'day, Grinkers. How you going? All right, let's have a look at IOTA. IOTA's up 58%, guys, in the last 24 hours. It brings it up to almost 200% in the last 7 days. It's cracked the $4 mark, $4.21. Ridiculous growth. Has passed Ripple. Gone straight past XRP. And with some steam as well, went straight past it. So incredible run from IOTA in the last month from those 40-cent lows that we were looking at. Absolutely amazing. 10x in the last month. Roughly, off the top of my head. Might be 6 weeks. Don't crucify me if I'm wrong. 423 right now. Wow. Just keeps going, eh? Yeah, I can even see it in my peripheral on one of my trading accounts. It's probably hit another sell. Gotta go try and buy it back again. You get these bull runs in the economy where it doesn't end. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Oh my god! You know what else? Which times Monero? It's up 25%, guys. It's up to $268 a coin. This economy is just going from strength to strength. We are at all-time highs, as far as I'm aware. Just spot checking again, but Asia's waking up with some real venom this morning as well. Pushing Bitcoin over that $12,000 mark. Amazing. I love being here when we get these historical moments in the economy. Ven, yeah, it has been ripping it. I even had a look into it as well, like a quick look. VeChain, it's like a marketplace, right? Another marketplace. It looked really, really professional though. I was looking at the thing. Yeah, 30%, man. Nice. Good on you, BB. Good pickup on that one. I had a look at the website. Looks brilliant. Oh, look at that. Look at that spike at the end of that. Woo-hoo-hoo. A lot of coins having that sort of action. So, yeah. And IOTA, of course. IOTA's just killing it. We've been looking at that, baby. Jiao. Just put an alert on Discord. I don't know if the crew knew about it. Getting big news. What big news? You're making me go into Discord in the middle of the bloody chat, Jiao. Stop being so cryptic. Just tell me. Let's have a look. I'm logging into Discord. I'm going to check what Jiao's cryptic alert. He won't even put the news in for me. He's making me search for it. Hey, Jiao, how's our chain coin, man? Oh, my goodness. Chain coin went booming as well. Jiao and I have got 2 masternodes running. Yeah. Oh, that's your private message. Chain coin up. Yeah, buddy. We've done some trading on that too, Jiao. I'll give you an update on where we're at. Privately on that one, but yeah, we're doing well, man. We killed it. Oh, Tether's being investigated. Woo! Jiao with the alert, the drop. There is some big news about Bitfinex and their fraudulent tether. They are getting audited, and they tried to scare the guy that is researching. Oh, wow! I got to have a read of that article. Oh, it's off Twitter. Don't get tethered. Hashtag don't get tethered. Oh, this could be huge in the crypto economy. Joe's typing on there as well. So, GB Capital. Why don't you come over to the actual conversation? Yeah, it's crazy, guys. Well, that's nice news drop there, Jiao. Tether being investigated. Incredible. It's been a lot of talk about it. I mean, an investigation might not uncover anything, but there's a lot of people who had conspiracy theories related to Bitfinex and Tether, the hack of Bitfinex, and also, what was the other thing that I was hearing about Tether? I can't remember. They're afraid, Jiao, they bloody should be, mate. It's not good. Yeah, I actually said, I think about 3 weeks ago, I first started saying, I wouldn't recommend if you're going to go into Tether, just go back to fiat, copped a couple of percent. It's not worth the risk that Tether's going to, basically implode. I don't know that it'll have that much of an effect on BTC, Joe. I think that's wishful thinking, brother. I've got some profit out, man, so I sort of hope so as well, because then I can smash back in. But I think those figures are wishful thinking, Joe. Joe's calling. Oh, Joe said, hopefully we see sub $3,000 BTC. Bring the FUD. Oh man, I hope so. I don't, because it can take a long time to recover from something that severe, man. You got to remember that people buying in today would lose a third of their money. So that's not necessarily productive long term. Dollar do, actually kicking myself for not investing in IOTA when it was 30 cents USD. I was telling myself to do it for months, just never did. Dollar do, I did the same thing at 44, bro. 44 cents. I sat there when that security scare happened, and I was just like, yep, everyone's fearing I should do it, and I never pulled the trigger. I ended up pulling the trigger at 80 cents, $1, $1.20, $1.30, $1.50. So I've done fine. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Hey, Dave. Dave Purebred's in the house. Yeah, Joe sold. He dumped 2 days ago. This is the danger of like Joe. I mean, this is the thing. Joe's experienced enough in the economy, even though he's young, to know that you don't count your potential profits as losses. Joe made money on his trade. Now he waits for it to settle. He buys it back when he can, and he works his way into it again. He dumped too early. It happens to the best of them. Wilkie's done it. Wilkie did it with PIVX. Dumped and had to buy it back for more. DSEG, what's going on? Yeah, so, that's the danger of playing the big dumps. That's why I scale. And Dollar Do's even got a better bit of advice for people who aren't experienced in trading, and that's hold and forget. Because the thing is, right, Wilkie lost on that one trade. I emphasize that because I'm just giving him shit. The reality is the guy is well ahead. And the thing is he can then buy it back and then start trading it again to make up the lost ground because he's experienced. But if you don't know what you're doing, you'll get burnt. That's as simple as that. So Dollar Do gives some good advice there in hold and forget. You never guess what? My mum called. Well, I called my mum, but we spoke last night. Yeah, Mike T, we'll get onto that in a sec because I've got both of them, as you know. But mum called last night. Well, mum and I spoke last night. And she said, oh, have you got that Coinbase link for me? I want to do $1,000. And I said, well, oh, sorry, mum. I shouldn't have disclosed the amount. But anyway, I said, well, yeah, I can get you a Coinbase link. That's fine. That's only $10 like I get on the referral. So probably don't worry about it too much because I haven't even set one up yet. But she said, oh, what do I do then? Just like, because she doesn't want to do anything. She just wants to put it in there and forget about it. So my mum's not going to go to exchanges. My mum's not going to go onto Bittrex and stuff. My mum, unless I do it for her, which I will once she's had this little test run, she won't be a PIVX holder until I sort it out for her. So what she's doing is downloading Coinbase, and she's going to get the three majors. And she said, oh, so what do I do? Just like 300 in each? I said, Mum, my honest advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. I do better than the people who do that for our family. But no, I said, look, put 500 in now and 500 in after the risk event, because the risk event to me is CME trading. Everyone's very, very giddy at the moment. Everyone's on cloud 9. Everyone's perhaps forgetting a little bit about CME trading can actually go the other way with people betting on shorts, especially if they've been buying up Bitcoin in the last couple of weeks or last month or so, whenever the first announcement was made. So anyway, what I said to Mum, Surabah Komai, sorry if I've got that wrong, doesn't like the IOTA wallet. That's it's good feedback. You should, basically with that sort of thing, if you do have any suggestions of how it can be made better, what you don't like about it, the great thing about the crypto economy is you have direct access to the development teams through the Slack groups, through Discord groups, through Telegram, and you can actually let them know, hey, listen, I'm not happy with this wallet. This is what I don't like about it, A, B, C, and D, and you're actually helping build the currency that you've invested in. So it's really good to get that market research that the wallet's it's not your favorite wallet. We understand that for sure. So my best advice, if you're looking to, if you're looking to improve something, be the change you want to see. Go and be the change. That's my best advice. But not everyone has time for that. I certainly understand that. Oh, I didn't get into the wallet. Oh, that's terrible. Surabah said, and sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I sent money, but it did not get into the wallet. I would strongly recommend jumping over to IOTA's support. They should have support on their, let me look at the website now for you. Why IOTA is jumping so fast? I think people are realizing it's a coin flip, in my opinion. So if Tangle technology works and secure and is proven over time, it's a transaction-free network. It can be secure, fast. It can move to DApp and that sort of thing. So it is very impressive technology if it's gotten right. We are at development stage with most of these coins, so that's for IOTA. But let me just jump over to the IOTA homepage, and I'll see if I can find. I can't remember the actual IOTA. I'll just look it up for you, because I think they should have support. And if not, they'll definitely have their social media groups, the Slack groups, the Discord. And if you join and just ask and say, hey, listen, I did this transfer. Can anyone help me out? I'm sure they'll be willing to help you. I know that if you came over to PIVX and asked that, we'd have a bunch of people who'd be willing to help you out. So I'm sure IOTA are in the same boat. I certainly hope they are. Just having a look at their homepage now. I'll flick it over to screen share so you can have a look with me. Give me a second. Let's have a look. See if you can Google Hangouts. I'll screen share this for you. Just give me a sec, guys. I won't be on the chat for a second. Screen sharing. All right, let's have a look at IOTA's homepage and see if we can find a bit of support for the person in the chat who has asked the question. So, blog developers newsletters. Google Hangouts is showing your screen. That's fine. Just having a look here. Economy of things. Let's scroll down. Economy of things. I'm sure there'll be their links to Slack groups and things like that here. Tangle. Community, here we go. See, you've got these down the bottom here. I'm sorry, I can hide that. Okay, so down the bottom here, you've got community, and you can go into like the Slack or the blog, or I'd probably recommend going into Slack. I find that's the best way to do it. So yeah, you just click the button like I did, you'll enter your email, and you can join the Slack group and go and ask some of the IOTA community and IOTA developers if they can give you any assistance in sorting that out. That would be my best advice for you at this stage, because I'm certainly not an expert in IOTA, so I can't really help you with wallet fixes there. Actually, I'm not an expert in tech, full stop, so can't really help you with wallet fixes with anywhere except for PIVX. I can do a few wallet fixes with PIVX. Okay. No, I don't use the wallet. I've only accumulated a little bit at the stage, so I don't really need to move it off the exchange just yet. When I say a little bit, it was enough to make me happy about the run up for sure. But obviously, you always wish you'd stacked in more at something like that. But no, I haven't tried the IOTA wallet, so it's good feedback that you've brought to the crew. Yeah, that's a good point too, Xiao. That they do have a partnership with Microsoft and Fujitsu, so that's also a lot's driving the price. Surabah, I hope I've got that right. Yeah, so no, I don't use that wallet. The wallets that I've got a few. I've got PIVX wallet, Neo wallet. I've actually got an NLC2 wallet, even though I never put any coins in it, just because I was downloading for a charity thing we were doing. Yeah, I got some sales on the exclusive pump, man. The exclusive pump was massive. So yeah, PIVX and exclusive both have had a bit of volatility this morning. PIVX a little bit, exclusive coin a lot. I won't bring this up because I haven't signed into my Bittrex account, so I can't bring it up on the screen here. But I can just show you with this. Guys, I've talked about this so often, how I just sit on exclusive coin, wait for it to pump, and then buy it back half price again. And it just, I mean, it's happened again this morning. And it's just lovely to see. That's the kind of thing we like to see, isn't it? Are you playing that exclusive pump now, Mike T? I know a few guys that got into it. We just sit back and wait and then be patient. It drifts back down, you buy it again. It's actually a proof of stake coin. I first started buying it and doing this at under 50 cents. So I've had to shift my marks a little bit, but it's been a super profitable trading coin for me. You know, and that's the thing. The funny thing is I'm not super bullish on exclusive coin long term because I believe there are better proof of stake models in the economy, for example. But if I'm going to keep 2xing my money every time it pumps, I'm going to keep it as a trading coin and I'm going to keep pumping it. Agent Smith has come in with Cheetah Coin. Mate, anything's possible after CryptoKitties. Anything. Yeah, Mike, well, you've probably done well, man. We've had a couple of pumps in the last couple of weeks. Mike said, yeah, I've been playing around with exclusive since you mentioned it a few weeks ago. Easy trading coin, right? Now, one day I'll probably lose the whole bag, but I'm not that worried about that because I've sold out. Like I could not lose on exclusive coin if it went to negative money and I owed them. No, well, then I could. But like that's how much money I've made, and then I've taken it out of the game and put it into other coins, and I kept the rest of my exclusive coin running and accumulate. So it's been a brilliant trading coin for me. Look, it's not a terrible proof of stake model. They had some issues in the early day. They started off with like a market cap of like 40 million or something. And then they had some security issue and they had to burn a bunch of coins. And it took them down to a market cap of 40 million. 4 million from 40 million. So yeah, it was really weird. And I sort of found it when it was, I can't remember what the market cap was on it, but it was nothing. And I just started thinking, well, that's an affordable master node for me. And that was really like a heavy focus of mine when I first got into the economy, was achieving coins with residual incomes or accumulating coins with residual incomes. And that's what I did. So exclusive coin was one of them. With a residual income, you need 5,000 coins to run the master node. Yes, 5,000. And when I started buying it, it was 50 cents. So $2,500. I thought, hey, well, affordable. But it's gone up a little bit since then. And it's not a master node I'm really that eager to run, just because I've got other ones that I prefer. Not anything necessarily against exclusive coin. I think I've made pumps in the past few weeks. Exactly, Monte. It's a brilliant trading coin. Sarabar, is IOTA long term? IOTA is a coin flip. So yes and no. Well, yes, it's long term. That's the way I see it. Because if it's successful, I honestly believe it could be a very, very dominant force ongoing in the market, and perhaps even be a serious contender to take on Bitcoin, because the technology is very impressive and very different to Bitcoin. So it can also completely collapse. That's why I see it as a coin flip. We've already had one security scare out of IOTA, and we haven't had enough experience. We haven't had a decade of experience like we have with Bitcoin, with the core security, you know, and it's been operating for 10 years without a glitch. Exchanges have been hacked and the rest of it, but the actual blockchain itself, 10 years without a glitch. So for mine, the more IOTA proves itself to be secure, that's going to be the major factor. And if they can prove themselves secure over a long period of time and prove that the scaling actually works and it will speed up the network the more it's used, then yeah, it should explode. Why not? If it's, I mean, how can you not, if they can achieve that security, speed, zero fee network, trend, and it actually speeds up as the networks use more. If they can achieve that, I have to assess that technology as better than Bitcoin, and therefore its valuation should be higher, surely. That's my personal assessment, and that's why I see it as a coin flip. So I've been saying for a while, what I do is for a couple of weeks at least, I've said what I'm doing is hedging against Bitcoin with something completely different, not Bitcoin Cash, not something exactly the same, and perhaps even less developed, because we're closer to the white paper. I've been on my rants about that before, but my point is if I'm going to hedge against Bitcoin, I'm going to hedge against it with IOTA or PIVX or Monero, Dash. It doesn't matter, but it's got to be something completely different to Bitcoin. That's how you hedge against Bitcoin. That's in my opinion. I think IOTA is certainly one of those hedges. You hope it'll make us all rich. I think that's what most people are in for. In these things for. I'm a bit more of a philosophical investor, which is why I didn't pick up a huge amount of IOTA. I like the idea, and I think it's worth throwing a few dollars behind. But my investments are usually in things like Encryption, and oh, by the way, Encryption picked up a bit as well. Last time I checked it, it done quite well. Don't exactly know how many coins I have. Worked over there when I first got into the economy. So I can't remember how many coins I've got, but they're somewhere. Jordan, Japan, welcome back. Binance is down. This sucks. Still trying to get my first IOTA. Oh, that sucks, Jordan. Is Binance down altogether? Let me have a look at my Binance account here. Yep. Down altogether. Yeah, the exchanges, the funny thing is the exchanges seem to be unprepared for the amount of volume, and they should be, to me, prepared for. Obviously, they didn't get in these industries because they thought they were going to fail. So surely they thought about scaling for their own exchanges as the masses come on. But it seems that many of them haven't. Monero's been crazy. What you think about Litecoin? Surab, I think it's brilliant. I think Litecoin's better than Bitcoin, if I'm being honest. I've got to be honest with my assessment. And that brings a lot of hatred towards me when I say things like that. But at its current stage of development, and I understand that Bitcoin has some excellent technology upgrades coming in terms of RSK side contracts and Lightning Network and all sorts of things. And Coinbase actually just recently announced they're going to go secret. So that should massively reduce the cost of sending Bitcoin from Coinbase to the exchange, which is brilliant. And that brings Bitcoin back in the hunt again for me. But at the moment, at the current stage of development, right this minute, Litecoin's better tech. That's my opinion. So yeah, I like Litecoin, man. I think Charlie Lee is very influential, and I think he's going to stick long term with the project. Charlie Lee actually came out with a prediction, which is, to me, pie in the sky. Sorry, Charlie, but it is. And he came up with a prediction of 4 Litecoin equals 1 Bitcoin. Now, for that to happen, Litecoin's going to need to hit $3,000 a coin if Bitcoin retains its current value. That's a big call. He said by the end of 2018. I think it was by the end of 2018. So he's expecting 30x growth in the next year. Market does look good. Looks amazing. Fabio Calamiro, 82. Hi. If the 82 is for the year you were born, same as me. 82, baby. Wilma Castro. Hey, man, what do you think of Monero? I think Monero is a solid project. I've said for a long time it's a solid anonymous project. I've been saying that since it was $50. Big community behind it. I've also said before that, oh, did I see IOTA? Yes, I saw IOTA. Anyway, getting back to Monero. I have heard that it's a preferred coin on the darknet, and that's going to turn some people off it. My opinion is that it shouldn't, because you can't hold a currency responsible for the way people are using it. That's not fair. That responsibility has to be on the people who are using it. I've made that argument so many times. So yeah, I think Monero is a solid project, and it's fun. Like, I work for an anonymous coin myself, bro. I work for PIVX, and I'm happy to say Monero is a really solid project, really good addition to the crypto economy. Like the work they're doing, like the community they're building. So. Soldier XMR Tagnio for LTC. XMM. Oh, Monero, of course. XMR. So you know how sometimes you just got all these trade symbols going through your head? It's hard to remember them all, but yeah, that sucks. But I mean, long term, I think you're gonna do well on either of those coins. That's the thing. Like, if we achieve mass adoption, which we're nowhere near it, by the way. And if I'm being 100% honest, I think Bitcoin's a little overvalued for use case at the moment. I know that's going to make me super unpopular, but that's why I told my mum to just look, if you're going to put $1,000 in, because my mum wants to, which shows you we're hitting saturation. I said, if you're going to put $1,000 in, put $500 in now before CME trading's open on Monday, and then wait for that risk event, because that could halve the market. That's what I said to her. I said, I don't know. It could double the market too. But I'm saying it's a risk event, and you wait and see which way the market's going to move after that risk event. If you want to get in straight away, fine. put 500 in now, put half of it in now, save half for after that risk event. That was my Ripple's a good project, man. I'm a philosophical investor. So I like to invest in things that, yes, are going to make me money, but B, that I can feel good about the investment I've made, that I'm helping society. Ripple's the banker's coin. So, and that's the thing, Surab, is that if you've got a banker's coin in a decentralized environment where we're trying to get away from that system, it's going to struggle to gain popularity. Having said that, Ripple is fantastic technology. And anyone who thinks the banks are going to collapse tomorrow is delusional. They're not going to collapse tomorrow. We bail them out if that happens. You guys know how this works, right? That's not going to change in the next 12 months. So Ripple, a lot of the bigger banks, the reason it's probably slowed down a little bit is because it was originally talked about NAB and Westpac and Joe, if you're in the chat, that big, what's that big bank in Japan that Ripple are going to be working with? But now a lot of these banks have said, oh, well, a lot of the bigger banks are looking at developing their own blockchain. You know, Jamie Dimon even has come out and said, God bless blockchain now. Bitcoin shit, but God bless blockchain. Dickhead. Yeah, but the reason it could be moving a little slow is because that the bigger banks will likely, I think, just develop their own blockchain. Whereas the smaller financial institutions and credit unions, things like that, will still have a need for Ripple. So that's why it's slow and steady, because it's still got use cases. It's amazing. It's amazingly scalable. It's one of the most scalable currencies in the economy at the moment. I believe their transaction rate, like their maximum transaction rate, is right up there, which allows them to certainly act as a way to transfer wealth between the banks. Okay, just gonna pop up and see what everyone. Well, sorry guys, looks like ICX Icon now part of blockchain. Oh, interoperability. Never heard that word before in my life. Interoperability. I've never heard that word. Blockchain Interoperability Alliance meeting, Icon. XAION and one chain. Cool. Yeah, Muzo. I wish I had you here to say it, Joe. Mizuho is the biggest bank in Japan. Yeah, they were rumored to be with Ripple. Thanks for clarifying that. Jihan is the real problem of Bitcoin. What do you think? Man, that civil war just does my head in. It really, really does. I think that having Bitcoin.com primarily focusing on Bitcoin Cash is irresponsible. I think that's misleading. I do. I think that's deliberately misleading. So I think that's a strike on Roger Ver. I also think that Jihan's the guy who wrote the, he's supporting Bitcoin Cash, if I'm not mistaken. I just think that it's an ill-considered project to be supporting when they don't have scaling solutions past increasing block sizes, which doesn't work unless you want to be adding a 1 terabyte hard drive every 5 hours if you're a miner, which I'm assuming most won't, which means their network will get slow and expensive as well eventually if they're looking for mass adoption, 100,000 transactions per second. So yeah, I think it's irresponsible unless you have an actual, and I also think it's really arrogant to go against the will of the community, and because their governance, right, like their consensus was that they're going to do SegWit, right? I'm sure it was in the 80% of miners who agreed on that. I don't think it's fair for the other ones to come out and just say, well, no, we are the real Bitcoin despite the fact we lost that vote. I don't think that's fair. Anyway, that's my opinion. Oh, did they? That's cool. Ripple partnered with Bitflyer, Japan's biggest exchange. You know who's been announcing partnerships all over the place is Event Chain and Gladius. Gladius announced another partnership as well, guys. Let me just bring that up on my Telegram. It's good news. We had Alex on the show. I haven't caught up with him for ages. By the way, I put a shout out to QLink, and Roger's putting me in contact with the marketing team there. So we're going to try and get Susan's the head of marketing there. So Susan and I are going to get in contact and try and get somebody on the show to have a look at QLink. I'll get onto that in a second, Dollar Do. I think it's a solid project, man. I'll get more onto that. But first, let's have a look at this Gladius news that's come out, and it's a pinned message at the top of the thing. It says, Gladius is partnering with Snap Interactive to develop our platform and protect the world against DDoS attacks. So Gladius partners with Snap Interactive. There's a Medium article there, which I would have to figure out how to put in here from this computer, which is too hard for me. So yeah, there is an article on Medium there. It's good to see those, you know, those strategic alliances and partnerships and real world connections are so important. So that's good to see. Been asked for my thoughts on Walton. Walton's a Chinese project. You know what I liken it to without having had a real solid look at it? It's a nice segue, by the way, because they do a lot of real world work. But Walton I liken to Factum in terms of they seem to be really aiming for that industrial business sector in China. And that's huge. That's massive. So they've already announced, I can't remember, guys, because it is difficult for me to pronounce some of these names. I can't also store them in my memory well, but they did announce a partnership about a month ago, I think it was. Was it a month ago? Something in China. But yeah, they're moving and shaking and all the rest of it. It's a proof of stake model, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to have a little bit more look into it, but all the news I'm hearing, and I like anything that's involved in that business sector, because there's so much need for blockchain can be overlaid into the business world in so many ways. Like I've experienced business in quite a few different industries, and I think that specifically in increasing transparency is going to increase confidence, which increases business. So yeah, I think it's good. You think it's a useful coin that has practical implementation. Thank you very much for your opinion. Dollar Do. Entirely crazy. A tag in though. You never bet more than you can lose, bro. You never invest more than you can lose. So I've been asked how crazy is it to hedge my credit card on crypto? Extremely crazy. I'm sorry, I'm not a financial advisor, but insane. Your interest rates on credit cards are 20%, dude. You don't need to give the bank that money. So just invest what you can afford. Make a weekly budget. Put $50 a week in if that's all you can afford. Don't be in a hurry to get there. That's how you lose. When you get into that sort of mentality, like you want to hedge with your crypto, you hedge with your credit card. I don't think you do it before a risk event like CME trading, because as much as people are shouting about mass adoption and how good it is, you do have to know the reality that big guys do know how to play the market, and it's totally possible that they've been buying up Bitcoin to dump and make on the shorts. It is possible. I'm just saying, be aware that it's possible. Please, don't get your blinkers on. It's dangerous. Yeah. Bit of a pullback. Oh, Dollar Do, I almost got it. I saw it at 580 and I almost pulled the trigger. But you know how it is. You've got a lot of coins, you're waiting for those dips, and they tend to happen all at once. The whole economy gets a scare and you go, oh, now which one do I want? Because they have all dipped at the same time. And Walton was one I missed out on, only because I hadn't done enough research. Like I really don't want to pull the trigger unless I've really sunk my teeth into it. And I've got to admit, while I've breezed over Walton, I haven't really sunk my teeth into it. But I do like what I see on face value. David Purebred. Dave Purebred, are you into the CryptoKitties? You could make a fortune with that name. Purebred CryptoKitties. Recently, we've seen ICOs for esports video game coins. Has there been many in the past, or is this a relatively new thing? There has been a couple. Video games, let me think. Voxels. Okay, Voxels is one I picked up in virtual reality, really augmented reality, virtual reality. Voxels I picked up at $2 million market cap. It's now sitting at about a $35 million market cap. I picked it up, one of my first buys in the economy, in my first month or so, because I was just doing research down there, looking at some lower market cap coins after picking up stuff in the top 100. And I actually wrote a statement article and said, look, I don't know anything about virtual reality. I don't. I've never used virtual reality in my life. I've never even seen a movie in 3D. And to most of you, that won't be that surprising because I'm a tech idiot. Spend my time at the beach. But I don't need to understand or enjoy virtual reality to know that the rest of the world enjoys virtual reality. I know people are crazy about this stuff, right? So I had a look into the company. It all looked like things were going well. They were moving along, and I took a speculative go on a $2 million company, and now it's over 30. So yeah, there has been use cases for video games before. Library credits, I believe, has actually got use case for video games as well. There's a few of them, quite a few of them actually. Esports. I know that NLC 2Coin are doing fantasy sports. They do like fantasy football and that sort of thing on the blockchain. They were the first, actually. They're doing quite well. I think they've got a 25 million market cap. But look, I'm not a gambler, and I see my personal opinion is that fantasy sports is gambling. So I couldn't invest in the coin. But at the same time, I really liked Raf. I spoke to him for 2.5 hours on a U. He's the CEO over there, and I got asked to come on and assess his company. I didn't even know what it was. And then next thing I'm talking about a coin that somewhat represents wagering money, which for me, I had a problem with that in the past, so I stayed away from it. But Raf's a great guy, and it's a massive industry. So for those of you, who might even enjoy your fantasy sports and do it responsibly and keep it within budget, I understand that it's a very good platform. They're going to be adding more sports. So it's not something I'm invested in, though. But I did really get along well with Raf. I thought he was a good guy. Sorry for the OT. Why in Italy we don't speak very well English? We lose these live and see only bullshit. In Italy, Bitcoin isn't much popular. Crazo. Yeah, cool. Like, that's the thing. It's taking up different. That's from Fabio Calamero. Fabio Calamero. Fabio, I wish I could speak some Italian for you, so I could, so you wouldn't have to deal with my Australian accent as well. But different countries are adopting it at a different rate, and what it's heavily being driven on is, honestly, as much need as anything. Like in a lot of the Western countries, it is very much driven by greed because we don't have as many financial restrictions on our money as what Asian countries traditionally do. And we don't have hyperinflation like Venezuela and countries like this that are really having a need for a crypto. So I think it's being like most heavily adopted in where it's most needed. So Zimbabwe, Venezuela, and then you're talking about countries that can afford to invest in things like that as well, obviously. But also in places where it's heavily regulated money, like China. Like to move money in and out of China is it's quite a process. That's putting it politely. So especially if it's any significant amounts. So yeah, micro invest definitely, man. Accumulative. That will never hurt you. If you're a gambler, especially, guys, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you are a gambler, I will give you the best financial advice you've ever had in your life. Stop gambling. Start investing. The crypto economy has allowed you to do that at a micro level. You can invest $20 into a company if you like, $50. You don't need to be throwing $10,000 into something. So if you've got a $50 a week budget for slot machines, horse racing, casino, unless you're talented, like you're a poker player and you know what you're doing and you know how to make money. But if you're a a gambler who consistently loses, take that habit, take the money from that and put it in the crypto economy. And I can't make guarantees, but I'd be very surprised if you didn't do better than your current gambling habit. So yeah, that's the best, honestly, that's the best financial advice you'll ever receive if you're a gambler. Take it from someone who lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's not a good pastime. Really? A tagging no. You worked on augmented reality for 5 years, #1 for the last 2 years. Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. I mean, like Pokemon Go was massive, right? There were people where I was surfing over in Indonesia when that came out. We were over on a drop knee tour with a bunch of guys from Australia. Awesome tour, epic. There's one guy from the US as well, guy from California, the Wedge, Adam Dumar, very good drop now. But yeah, we were over there and people had literally been hit on the street because they're so busy and died because they're so busy chasing bloody augmented reality Pokemon. Thoughts on Cashfish? I haven't had a look at it. Sorry, Joe. Been super busy. Check Lomo Coin. Interesting game. We talked about a similar thing some months ago. Cool. The perspective I posted a while back was VR from gaming to advertising. Aussie adoption is insane, says Joe. Yeah, it's really starting to ramp up because we're getting Bitcoin ATMs and I don't know. We've got somewhat of a rebellious nature in our attitude, like we do, Australia. So it's like if the government wants to tell us we can't do something or they want to, we'll just go and do it, especially if it pisses them off. We'll do it twice as hard. So I think the sort of libertarian, rebellious nature of blockchain appeals to Aussies, man. I really do. Yeah, cool, Dollar D. You got to jump off. That's cool, man. We sit here and talk for an hour, mostly, probably longer. No, we've only been on for 48 minutes. I'm keeping myself in control today. Where do I surf? D-Bar usually, but I haven't been surfing much lately. I've been without car. But fortunately, my car comes back today. So D-Bar every day. Although banks have been, I think, froggies a little bit. There's been plenty of swell pushing in around the points as well. So, Alex, thanks for the question. That's where I surf. Generally around the southern Gold Coast, man. Except for when I'm competing and then wherever the competition's being held. Did Port Macquarie and Sunshine Coast last month. But I don't actually compete again until next year now. Pro Tour will be at Duranbar. So hopefully home ground advantage for, I think we're in February. I'll have to check. But yeah, I'm on free surfing duties for the next couple of months, which is nice. Unfortunately, a lot of gamblers there are a lot of gamblers. They aren't satisfied until they lose everything. I lost everything several times. I had to burn myself a bunch of times before I realized it. The thing that saved me is I actually made money playing poker. I studied it, learned it, played it very well, but I don't even play a hand anymore because the net effect of that is I'm taking money off someone else. So I have given up gambling altogether. I don't even bet on the Melbourne Cup. It's like a massive horse race in Australia. Everyone gets a public holiday. Yeah, it's that convict blood, exactly, Joe. The convict blood in Aussie. That's what makes us rebellious. Oh, you want to do a honeymoon here? Or you'll do a honeymoon here. Cool, Fabio. Come to the Gold Coast, man. I live right next to the airport. I'll teach you to surf. Maybe you do already surf. Actually, funny, Fabio, when I was competing in 2015 in Chile in the World Championships, there was one Italian competitor, one Italian bodyboarder. His name was David Dante. David Dante. Best guy ever. We adopted him as Australian because he was the only Italian competitor and there were 4 Australians. So we said, okay, you come with us. And man, he was the funniest guy and he was a big party guy too. A lot of fun. But yeah, he's a really good bodyboarder from Italy. So I'm sure you're watching this right now, David Dante. So yeah, he was a legend. All right, let's have a look what else is going on in the market. Get fishy off this rant. Get fishy off this rant. All right, I'm going to open up CoinMarketCap, see where everything's trending. I was in bodyboarding, so it was at the ISA, ISA World Championships in Iquique in Chile. For these things, bodyboards. IOTA's still going. This is $4.43. Woo! It is absolutely smashing it. That's insane. Where will it stop? Anyone got any predictions on that? Absolutely crazy. I'm just going to go to view all and check out in the last like I like to do is check on the last hour, but IOTA's up another 12% in the last hour. Where's Wilkie when you need him? He's at work. He's going to be, wait till he actually checks his portfolio. He's going to be quite impressed. A few red figures in the last hour. It's just starting to bleed a little bit in general. Like the market is red in general in the last hour, but there's some really, really big exceptions to that. Yo-yo being one of them. Obviously IOTA. Vertcoin's still going. Vertcoin's hit $10. Like, it's hit the $10 mark. It's an insane time. Oh, that's all right. That's fine, Bruce. It's not about the dollars you have in it, man. It's about percentage gains. You start doing your head in if you start thinking about dollar gains and start comparing it to all the big whales around the economy. G'day, Z. Bruce, make it relative to yourself, man. Like, you say you got $60 in IOTA. I think I had even less than that before this bull run. I think I first bought in $50, man. I had nothing in there. I'm still stoked. It's good percentages. Great percentages. Move some of that out. Look to trade a little. See if I can accumulate more. But it's, I really do advise people to take a look at percentage gains rather than dollar value gains. And if you put $50 into something speculatively and you get 5x on it, don't think, oh, it's easy to do. It's easy to go, I wish I had to put 100 in or 1,000, right? Of course you do. Hindsight trading is the easiest thing in the world, by the way. So try and stay away from that and just be proud that, you got $60 in on IOTA. I'm hoping when you say that, you're saying you only had $60 in sort of before it pumped. I think we could, I said yesterday I thought we could see retracements down to even less than $2, and that certainly doesn't look likely now. So I'm not sure when this bull run will end, but you will see dips in IOTA. Nothing moves in straight lines. So if you're looking to accumulate more, best advice would be just wait for it to steady down a bit. Get it into a tradable range. When it settles down, you can find a tradable range. That's when you can actually accumulate more just by trading in and out, if you know what you're doing. I'll have to do a video on that soon. It's a good little strategy. Like, we picked up a bunch of Chaincoin trading in and out of it. Not that I particularly like the project, by the way. Sorry to the Chaincoin people, but I think I'm justified in having that response after I was pretty much crucified for leaving my support behind. Yeah, so I've still got the Chaincoin though. Joe and I've been trading it, running masterminds. You're hoping to hold it long term. That's a go, Bruce. Just hold it, man. You say it's only, like, that's the thing. Imagine if you got $60 of Bitcoin back in 2010. Would you care that it was only $60 now that you first got if you just hodled it all the way for 10 years? No, I doubt it. You'd just be like, what the hell? I spent $60 on a complete punt and I am now a multi-millionaire. Like, multi-millionaire from $60 if you bought it back in 2010. So long-term views, very, very good idea. I told my mum the same thing, man. Mum asked me for advice on investing in crypto last night. She's having her first go. And I don't want to get on exchanges and all that sort of thing. We really only have a couple of options in Australia in terms of buying in fiat. So I just went for the simple option of Coinbase, spread between, I said 40% Ethereum, 40% Litecoin, 20% Bitcoin, because I think Ethereum and Litecoin are undervalued comparatively to Bitcoin. So that's the advice I gave my mum. So shit, if Ethereum and Litecoin and Bitcoin all die, I'm in trouble with my mum. I'm just going to have a look at a couple more that we have been following. Komodo was super strong last time I checked. Let me just see where that's sitting at the moment, because it is one we've been keeping an eye on leading up to the Monet's ICO that a few of us have picked out a while ago. It hit 350. I saw it hit that mark. It's now back down to 322, but holding that $3 mark strong. And that's more than I could have really hoped for leading into this. And I think it can still run up to that Monet's ICO as people buying to get their 30% increases. PIVX, of course, is one we've been keeping an eye on, has retraced even 4.5% in the last hour back towards the $5 mark. Not unusual. You see growth from $2.80 2 weeks ago. When we were saying anywhere below $3, just keep buying. And we're up 5.15. So if you take it from where we bought it and not not the highs. I mean, it pumped to $6 at one stage on that first pump. It's been quite volatile. So that's one we've been keeping an eye on as well. $10X has sort of come back a bit. It ran up to the $2.80 mark, back down to $2.50. I still think it's really solid long-term buying. If they can scale out their cards, like scale out getting out their cards to the public and really dominate that, you get a 10X card in your hand, right? It doesn't matter what other cryptocurrencies bring out cards in the future. If you are happy with your 10X card, you're likely to renew that and not go with another one. So I think being dominant as the masses come in this space is going to be important, and 10X is continuing to fight really, really hard to put themselves in that position to be one of the most dominant, if not the preeminent card in the crypto economy. And if the masses come in and say, we want to spend our crypto, that 10X card and the pay token can be certainly more valuable than it's valued at this stage. It relies on a lot of things, though. It's still, still venture capital. I always say that about a lot of these projects. Fabio, it's hard to say that that's true, because I think the forks have put a lot of speculative money into the game. I don't completely disagree with this other YouTuber that you're quoting. I'm just saying that what always confused me is that the price of the fork coin should be factored into Bitcoin. Therefore, once you receive it, Bitcoin should retrace by that amount, and it never happened, not with any of them. I can't figure that out. But of money, long term, I think it's super damaging for Bitcoin, because newbies coming into the space don't realize that Bitcoin Cash is actually not only not authorized or promoted by Bitcoin itself, core if you like. It's actually a hostile competitor. And I think most people coming into the economy, Bitcoin Cash is going to be added to Coinbase. I think most people, newbies coming into the economy, will see Bitcoin and a cheaper Bitcoin, which is Bitcoin Cash, and they'll go, oh, it's the same thing, it's a cheaper version. I don't think they'll do the research, and that's why I think it's dangerous, because Bitcoin Cash doesn't have nearly the number of developers working on it. It doesn't have the mining power. I mean, that can change pretty easily. But the reality is their basic scaling solution at this stage of increasing block size is not sustainable, not to get to the number of transactions per second we need to run the economy. So I agree that long term, it's a terrible thing, because uneducated people are going to get burnt on some of these Bitcoin forks, because they don't, Bitcoin Gold, why is it better than Vertcoin? Why is it higher? Like, that's catching up now, but why? I've said that from day one. I've said that since Vertcoin, Vertcoin was a $25 million market cap coin when I first identified it. And now I see Bitcoin Gold come out on its first day, go straight up here. It made no sense to me at all, and still doesn't to this day. So, yeah, I think it's dangerous for the economy, long term. So I agree with him long term. Short term, it's brought so much speculative money with people wanting their free coins. The thing is, they're not free. They should be factored into the Bitcoin price, but for some reason they haven't been. Maybe it's just the flood of money into the economy is that high. I mean, if you either Bitcoin should have retraced, or if those forks hadn't happened, the market cap of Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Gold and Bitcoin Diamond should be rolled up into Bitcoin if they'd never forked. That's essentially how it works. Otherwise, it's speculative money, which is a problem. Holy Monero today, yeah, it's been solid. There's been a lot of good winners in the economy, guys. I mean, most of you who have been in are going to have done well. If you've been in over a month in this economy, I'd be very surprised if you're down. Z, no. We're not. Actually, I don't know. I don't think so. Bruce V, do you think that Tangle has made the blockchain obsolete? Well, I still see Tangle as a form of blockchain technology. And no, I don't think it's made blockchain obsolete, because it's still relatively untested compared to blockchain. And honestly, I would need another 5 or 10 years of operation, like flawless operation of Tangle technology, before I'm prepared to call it secure and let's dump all blockchain into Tangle technology. I understand the difference in the way the technology works. It's very, very clever. But is it the end of blockchain? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think you'll see a lot more coins coming out with like a Tangle tech as their basis. I think a lot more coins will go that way with the success of IOTA. But will it replace blockchain? If it's going to, not for at least 10 years, I wouldn't think, because you've got to have that test time behind the network, which Bitcoin has, to prove that blockchain itself does work. And I kind of do, I know it's not really, but I kind of do see Tangle as a form of blockchain technology, if that's okay. ZZ said, the Z-man, Z said, at Fabio, do vivi in Italia. I don't know what that means. Oh, now they're talking in Italian. Great. Just leave me out of the conversation then, guys. You should have seen me. Oh, we just broke 12K. Yeah, we broke it earlier. Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola. Feels wrong. BTC will go nowhere, and crypto is like soup man. Idiota. Oh, looks like we got a crypto troll in the house. Welcome, MC Asbak. Oh, MC? Are you an actual MC? Because I do rapping, and I will school you. No problems. If you want to be served, keep up that idiot talk, and we can have a rap off. IOTA is quite centralized, I believe, said Joe, but he said, don't quote me on that. It's just something he's read. Ah, Jordan got his first IOTA. Didn't FOMO it, did you? You're buying it at bloody $4.50 highs after a 60% run up. I hope you left some for the split orders just in case we do see those retracements. But well done, Joe. Jordan, sorry, I know you've been chasing that. Well, I'll have a rap challenge with you if you like. Do you want to come on Google Hangouts? We'll get a couple of beats going. No? Oh. Fishy loves his rap battles. Speaking of rap battles, Crypto Daily, I've got to give a shout out, because his rap from his last video was very much improved on his first one. It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed it. So, see how we go with that. I'm only joking too, bro. Not really a abrasive person. Well, I can be. I can be abrasive when I get bad customer service. That really tends to piss me off. But in general, I don't get too worked up over anything. Fabio, the politicians, bankers, waiters will do anything to stop the cryptocurrencies. I hope that Rothschild will stick in his Fabio, I'm not supposed to swear on this channel. Fabio has suggested that a GPU should perhaps be placed where the sun don't shine for the Rothschilds. Interesting. Yeah, I know, Jordan. It sucks, man. It's one of those things, right? But you got to think about this if you actually believe in the project. Jordan's just said, look, it sucks that I couldn't get my accounts confirmed when IOTA was under $3, you know, be up 30% already. But hey, and that's the right attitude. But hey, because you think about it, you know, you get into Bitcoin at $3, you get into Bitcoin at $4. Yeah, it matters, but are you upset today? Do you even really think about that? Like if the same set of circumstances happened with Bitcoin back when it was $3 or $4 and you had the same set of circumstances, you could have got it at $3, got it at $4. I don't think you'd be sitting here today going, oh, I really wish, like it'd be that much money you wouldn't care. So if you think it's long term, if you think it's a solid project long term, you know, like I've said with IOTA, it's either going to work or it's not. And if it's going to work and work well, the value's going to boom. And if it doesn't work, the value will collapse to virtually zero. The Rothschilds just like good food and wines. Yeah. I don't really know them, but I imagine they like power and control more. That's usually what's behind money. Yeah, cool. Laters, Dave. Oh, it still is here, Rocket Radio Show. Rocket Radio Show said, I remember when weed was illegal. Well, it still is in Australia, mate. We only just made gay marriage. No, we've only just had a vote that says we're okay with gay marriage. I don't think we've even legalised it yet. So Australia will catch up to that in about, I don't know, 20 years. Weed might be legal then. Oh, sorry, Jao. Yeah, if anyone wants to subscribe to join the conversation, we do this daily. We do also have a Discord group where we continue the discussion pretty much 24 hours a day. Thing never stops beeping. But it is a great place. We consider it a safe space for open conversation. So everyone's allowed their opinion. No personal attacks. It's just a discussion group where you're welcome to give your own opinion on any crypto. So yeah, anyone who'd like to join, welcome to. Link at the perfect Fibonacci point. Oh man, Link's been doing so well. I'm stoked. I picked that up. Like I told you guys, that sideways action around 15, 16 cents just looked brilliant. And when you're talking about, a crypto that is identifying a potential, something that it can add in terms of third-party information collection through an Oracle network, it's clever. You're going to need that for enactment of smart contracts. So let's have a quick look at Link. I'll check out soon, guys, but let's have a look at Link because it is one we picked up, haven't checked in on a few days, and has had good times. Now, Wilkie bought this off the advice of Fish, again around the 15, 16 cent mark. Oh! I hadn't even seen that. 28 cents. That's huge. Stoked. Really, really stoked at that. Because I got Wilkie into it as well, I make fun about, I like making more money than Wilkie, but really he's one of my good friends. So obviously it makes me happy that he's done well there as well. And he literally just taken good profit on Power Ledger, which he bought at ICO, and he said, I got this investment capital. And I said, yeah, do Link. Oh, I said, have a look at Link because I'm responsible. And he did, and he cleaned up. So stoked. Stoked for my mate, stoked for me. When the US government decides to make cryptocurrency illegal, we'll just learn to live under the wire. Exactly. I've spoken about this before, Rocket Radio Show. I don't think it's possible to make it illegal. To stop people using it is impossible. You can't stop people using it. You can try, ain't gonna work. So yeah, I agree with you, man. It might not have the same value, obviously, if it's not accepted commercially, but there's plenty of use cases for it, no doubt about that. So yeah, I honestly think any attempts to control it are going to see a further strengthening of the people who are really behind blockchain technology and decentralization. That's what I honestly believe. If governments push too hard, the people will push back. It's happened historically, time and time and time again. Governments trying to set too much control, people push back. Hundreds of times. Hundreds of different examples of that historically over the last 1,000 years. So yeah, I don't think it would be smart for governments to push too hard on trying to decentralize something which has to control something which has no reason to be under their control. There's heaps of people bad-mouthing Bitcoin. And the reality is actually, I'm actually even one saying that it perhaps is a little bit of overbought at its stage of development at the moment. Long term, I think it's a gem. But for its use cases and stage of development at the moment, until we get, all the SegWit wallets in and we get lower transactions and get these RSK contracts and Lightning, until then, I think that price is already factored in. So from my assessment, we factored in stuff that hasn't quite happened yet. So for me, I have to call it, as I said, it's saying Bitcoin is a little bit overbought. But do I think Bitcoin's shit? No, furthest thing from it. You're Dutch, we just ate tulips. Yeah, man, the Dutch tulip craze is one of the best. Well, it's got a market named after it, like an economic happening after it, tulip bulbing. Which is a lot of people are saying what crypto is doing at the moment. It's certainly been parabolic rises. And, look, if you want to be honest, its use cases are still, like in terms of where it's accepted and that sort of thing, and the fact that Bitcoin's expense has gone up a little bit until they make these technological advancements. For its current stage of development, I personally believe it's slightly overpurchased. There you go. Crucify me if you must. You guys know I'm a huge, huge supporter of crypto though. So, tulips. Currency is the government's fundamental power. Yeah, it always has been. Money is always, you know, basically money was a way to, money's a way to enslave people without the chains. Especially fractional reserve banking system, just compounds the problem. Is Bitcoin getting too slow, Bruce? Yes, man, it has in past times, but there's a lot of upgrades to the network either in place, currently being implemented in terms of SegWit actually being, you know, SegWit-enabled wallets being put in by Coinbase and things like that. So the SegWit technology is available, but it hasn't been fully implemented, if that makes sense. So that's the biggest problem at the moment. Once everyone's implemented that, you should see faster and cheaper transactions. And not only that, that's just the first of many solutions which Bitcoin have promised. So we have to wait and see. But at this current stage right now, Bruce, yes, I believe it has, because I've paid $4 or $5 to send Bitcoin in the last couple of months. Now I know that as SegWit integration becomes more and more prominent in Bitcoin, that's gonna be a problem that does reduce. But I'm just calling it as it is right at this moment. We're just a small percentage hard to influence. Yeah, for sure. Well, it all starts with one person though. You know. Mark G, anyone use MetaMask wallet? It wants you to allow RADA ND change all your data on the websites you visit and modify data you copy and paste. What WTF? Isn't that Crypto 101 what not to do? Oh man, you're asking the wrong person. You know that, Mark G. That's a question for, well, I know you said anyone, so that's a question for Discord. I can't answer that one on the show. Bloomberg, we're flooding BTC, saying tonight to short the futures. Yeah, look, I honestly think that that's a possibility. I've said it to my mum. I'll tell you guys the exact same thing I told my own mother. I said, it's a possibility, mum, that people have been, like the big guys have been buying up like multiple $1 billion orders of Bitcoin, like slowly, so it's not super noticeable, accumulating a crap load of Bitcoin to dump on the market so that they can win on betting the shorts. My grandfather said to me from such a young age, whenever markets moved, he said, it's just the big boys playing with the money. And I always thought he was a conspiracy theorist. I went through this yesterday. But big boys do know how to move markets. And for the big boys, guys, you were talking about peanuts for them in terms of Bitcoin. Like back when I was trading oil, I think it was around April this year, one of the big hedge funds in the US goes insolvent and has to liquidate their entire position in oil. The price per barrel of oil from that one hedge fund dropped $4 or $5 a barrel because they were holding that much of it. That's, you know, oil's a massive market, a huge, huge world market. They would have had to have $20, $30 billion worth of oil to have that sort of effect. And, you know, it's not just that, it's the cascading effect of everyone else starting off the panic sell. So, yeah, you can certainly see the same thing with Bitcoin. With so many newbies in the space as well, it's like it's so emotionally driven. You can see that by the amount, like how heavy the market swings. It swings heavier than any market I've ever invested in. Like massive, massive swings. So it's got to be emotion driving that. FOMO on one side and FUD on the other. So, yeah, I think that if the big financial groups or hedge funds or whatever have purchased up a whole bunch of Bitcoin and they can dump it, they wouldn't have to dump a huge percent like of the overall market cap. They would not have needed to accumulate a whole lot compared to what these hedge funds can throw around to actually start the panic and dump as soon as CME trading is open on Monday. And I'm kind of waiting for that just in case it happens. That's why I said to my mum, half now, because it could send the markets bullish as crazy. And, you know, Bitcoin goes to 20 grand based on institutional money betting on Bitcoin going up. Institutional money hasn't been a big fan of Bitcoin in the past and blockchain technology, having said that. So it's either the ultimate game of catch up where they all hit it as soon as they can hit CMA with leveraged money, or it goes the other way and gets sold off and they make their money, they catch up that way essentially. And I don't know which way it's going to go. So I've told my mum to split, go half now. And then if it takes the monster dive, which some are hoping for, some are expecting, and some think will never happen, that's when you load in the other half. And that's the best advice I can give to anyone up until Monday. If you're putting more fiat into the economy, split it. Put half in now, put half in after CMAs. I'm not a financial advisor. Please make your own decisions, but that makes sense to me. Still make crypto. Someone should make tulip crypto. That'd be pretty funny, actually. I'm returned. I've pushed like. People do it. Thank you, Fabio. Good on you, man. VXPTC1. Can Bitcoin hit 10 million in 10 years? What? 10 million? No. I did some maths, VXPTC, based on 22% retained dominance and 10% of world economy coming into Bitcoin, and that brings its price to 411,000 based on the total supply being mined of 21 million. So but the highest figures I've ever done for 411,000 or 452. It was over 400,000. 10 million in 10 years. Look, it can happen. I shouldn't laugh like that, but it's just I've never heard anyone go that high with their prediction. You're officially the highest prediction I've heard, or the highest can it go that high question I've had. I'm V1, setting new records. You're a cheeky one, Fabio. Very cheeky. All right, guys, I'm going to check out for the day. It's been a cool conversation. I'm going to go and try and buy some bloody CryptoKitties from my nieces. Hope the craze lasts so that their Christmas present is actually worth something. Can't believe I'm doing that. I might even make a video how to purchase CryptoKitties. Probably get 50,000 views with this bloody thing going on. It's been good chatting, guys. I'm going to peace out for the day. Go get some stuff done. If you're investing today, look for those dips, guys. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. And make it fun. Catch you later. Fish out.